Get ready to unleash your inner legal mastermind and embark on an exhilarating legal adventure. Welcome to the Legal Odyssey podcast, where we dive deep into the world of law and bring you face to face with the sharpest legal minds in America. I am thrilled to be your guide on this wild ride as we uncover the hidden secrets of the legal elite. Welcome, listeners, to another captivating episode of the Legal Odyssey. I am thrilled to have you join us today as we embark on a journey through the world of personal injury law with our remarkable guest, Tyler Eaton, who has quickly excelled in his career. Imagine finding yourself in the aftermath of an accident, a slip or a fall, a car crash, or even a dog bite incident. Today, we're going to help you navigate through this critical decision-making process that arises, shedding light on the crucial factor of time. Our goal is to arm you, our valued listeners, with the practical insights you can implement should the need arise, so you can confidently navigate the challenges that life may throw your way. So prepare to be empowered by the wisdom and expertise of Mr. Tyler Eaton of Eaton Law Group in Salt Lake City, Utah. Welcome to the show, Tyler. We are so excited to have you here today.
Thank you. I'm very excited to be here. I think that what you're doing is incredible, and I'm honored to be your guest.
Thank you so much. So let's kick things off with digging a little bit into your journey. Why did you decide to become an attorney?
The day after I graduated high school, I got set up with a pretty cool internship at a personal injury law firm in Las Vegas. So the day after I drove down there, started working, and on my first day, I got to go and witness one of the attorneys at our firm in a murder trial. It was fascinating. From that day, I was hooked, and I knew that I wanted to be a lawyer. So I studied hard, and I graduated quickly, and I couldn't wait.
And so I have to share with our listeners, because I was so inspired to find that you actually passed the bar at just 23 years old. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
That is such an inspiring journey. It's so cool to see someone that was really dedicated to just jumping in and fighting for justice.
Thanks.
So, of course, why did you choose to focus then solely on personal injury as your firm's practice area?
Well, one, I absolutely love it. I get to advocate on behalf of people who are injured and get the opportunity to help them in a big way. Most of the time, you're the little guy and you're fighting against the big insurance. So fighting for the underdog is my passion, and I get that opportunity with personal injury.
And so, then what does Eaton Law Group as a whole stand for?
My firm is all about being an advocate for the small guy who needs someone on their side. That means taking the cases that other firms don't want or don't want to litigate. That's actually how we get a lot of our cases. If one of the bigger firms rejects a case, or they decide they don't end up wanting to litigate after sort of the beginning process, we get those referrals and we fight for those clients and make sure they still have an ally.
That is some inspiring passion that you really care that much about, helping the smaller guy that is injured and needs that support, despite that it might not be the biggest case that the bigger law firms might take. In today's episode, I really want to dig in and imagine someone that could be hiring an injury attorney after a slip and fall, a car crash, or even, like we said, a dog bite incident. Let's really help them think through how to find the right personal injury attorney in Utah. So people might often hear that, time is of the essence when hiring an attorney. So how much time from the point of an injury do you have to research and talk with different attorneys to really get the right one in your corner?
So each state has different times that you actually have to file your complaint, and most, if not all of them, are more than a year. Often they're a couple of years. However, so you can wait that amount of time, but there are advantages to hiring a lawyer quickly. Attorneys have tools that help them, for example, get video recordings or ensure that evidence is preserved and that the other side isn't deleting it or destroying it. If you wait too long, they may delete it on purpose, or it might just go, it might be destroyed inadvertently. So they can ensure that that's saved. And also, good injury attorneys will help you with medical management, meaning getting you in contact with the right doctors and in the right hands to ensure that you also get better medically.
That is such important information to share with our audience because I think we oftentimes forget that the attorney can really help big picture the entire situation of the accident that you may have fallen into or the injury that you may be dealing with, in terms of making sure you get that right medical attention or the right medical, opinions to move forward. Can you explain a little bit more about what is meant by the statute of limitations?
Sure, I kind of touched on that a little bit, but the statute of limitations is basically just a time period set by your state legislature that says you only have this amount of time to bring your claim. If you wait too long and this deadline passes and you try to bring your claim, it'll be barred or you won't be able to bring it.
Okay, that makes sense. And that's where we're probably, our audience and many of us are often hearing time is of the essence. So that you're really making sure, first of all, that you can bring that case, but also that, like we said, you're getting all of the proper advice, tips, and guidance on how to move forward through the injury and through the care. So, when somebody does choose to hire a personal injury attorney, what are some of the most important questions to ask during the initial consultation?
That's a good question. Initial consultation is important for a client. Uh, like among lawyers, we view it as a chance to get more details and determine if the client's a right fit and talk about the process moving forward. And a prospective client should use this opportunity similarly. They should use it as an opportunity to ask questions and get answers. I have a lot of questions listed on my website, but some of the more important ones are, have you ever handled cases like mine? Are you going to be the attorney on this case, or is this going to be delegated to a different attorney or a paralegal or an assistant? How does your firm handle communication? Are we able to speak, clearly moving forward, or are you going to be too busy to take my calls? What is your fee structure? And I guess generally, just what does the process look like moving forward at your firm? Those are some examples.
Those are great examples and important questions for our audience to ask when they are looking for a personal injury attorney. And I think it's also just a great reminder that, yes, it's an amazing opportunity for you as the consumer to gain information, knowledge from the attorney, but it's also a perfect opportunity for you as the consumer to get an initial idea of who the attorney is, how they work, and if you're going to be able to work with them throughout the rest of your case. Because it doesn't always settle super quickly, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Some cases, I do a lot of, medical malpractice cases sometimes, and those can take up to 5 to 7 years to go all the way to the end. I mean, if they go all the way to trial, and very few do, but these cases can be pretty long. So,
Right, right. And that's where you just need to make sure it's a relationship that's going to work between both of you, right? When searching for an attorney after, let's say specifically like a slip and fall accident, why would you say it's important to find an attorney that specializes in personal injury or even slip and fall injury cases in particular?
yeah, so honestly, several injury firms that I know of actually don't even take slip and fall cases because they're difficult to prove. A lot of the time it's he said, she said, unless there's video recording or witnesses. And opposing counsel usually puts up a pretty big fight on these ones. So hiring an attorney who knows how to work these cases is pretty crucial.
That is a really good point, and I think is refreshing for a lot of people that may find themselves in one of those kinds of cases or incidents because they might talk to a few law firms that deny the case. But it's important to talk to several and do your research to see if you can find, like we said, that attorney that accepts slip and fall cases that specializes in finding the right defenses for those cases. Before I let you go, Tyler, if you had to give one piece of advice for people that find themselves injured in a slip and fall, what would it be?
I feel like a lot of times slip and falls aren't taken as serious as they should be. Slip and falls are very scary and they can result in very serious injuries, brain injuries. People can hit their heads. Um, they're a real thing, and businesses and homeowners typically have insurance to protect themselves for this exact reason. So, a lot of people have a problem with, suing someone because they're afraid it'll ruin their life, but almost 99% of the time you're actually fighting the insurance. So getting a lawyer isn't going to ruin their life. If you slip and fall out of business, you're probably not going to shut the business down. There's insurance for that. So After an accident, search up slip and fall lawyers in my area and start calling people and talking to people, sort of like we were discussing earlier. Having a lawyer on your side can help you navigate this process tremendously. They can help get you the medical care you need and ensure that the insurance companies compensate you financially for your medical bills, pain and suffering, lost wages, and more.
That is such a great perspective to share, Tyler. And it's important because I think a lot of us out there, we are like, oh, I don't want to mess this up for somebody else. It was an accident, and of course it was, but you are also dealing with difficulties and challenges and repercussions yourself too. So to get somebody in your corner that can help support you through that is critical. Tyler, thank you so much for sharing your expertise with our audience and helping us to navigate through some of the most unknown situations in life. Literally, it has been an absolute pleasure having you on the show.
Thanks so much, Haley. I appreciate the opportunity to be here.
Of course, and to our listeners, thank you so much for tuning in to this exciting episode of The Legal Odyssey. As always, remember that this podcast is not legal advice, but it is designed to empower you with the knowledge and insights from the sharpest legal minds in America. Join us next time for another captivating exploration of the secrets that'll have you feeling confident in each life change. Until then, stay legally empowered.